In my 30 years of existence, I had come to know myself fairly well. Oh, I harbored no delusions of being redeemable, as I had more than my share of flaws. Headstrong, though Mr. Owen, my employer, would say mulish, a mite impetuous, and most certainly unsteady in affairs of the heart. Yet, as I lay there flat on my back upon the brightly polished wooden floor of the Artemis Club, with a blunt-tipped saber pressed to the 2-month-old scar on my chest, I realized one other essential truth about myself. I, Ruby Vaughn, had never, ever before lost upon the fencing strip. Not even when said pieced was little more than a makeshift rectangle hastily hashed out in the dirt behind a military hospital in France. But I supposed in time, everything must change. Even me. Best of 3, Vaughn? I glared through my mesh mask at Leona Abernathy, whose saber remained pressed gently against my breast. My muscles screamed in protest as moisture soaked through my thick white fencing jacket. Gasping, I stared up at the ornately carved white scrollwork adorning the ceiling. Around us, the sound of metal upon metal rang out as other pairs practiced with their blades. Leona laughed, tugging off her own mask, and offered me a gloved hand. A shaft of light came in through the window, catching in the dark browns and umbers of her hair. She hadn't aged a bit since we'd been stationed together at the hospital in Amiens. I watched my old friend's brown eyes dance as she wiped the sweat from her brow with the back of her sleeve. She'd gotten far better since our wartime duels. During the bloodiest months of the cataclysm, teaching her to fence had served as a distraction from the slow, beating drum of death raging outside the hospital walls, and the growing specter of my slipping grasp on sanity. The war had tested me in ways that I did not wish to think on. Certainly not here, in Oxford, during the week before Christmas. The past, that particular past, had no business in my present. Best of 3? I gasped indignantly, rolling over onto my hands and knees. Are you trying to kill me? Where'd be the fun of that? Leona tugged her long dark braid over her shoulder and ran her hand along it loosely. I sprang to my feet with a grunt. I seldom had the opportunity to fence nowadays, spending most of my time in the stuffy old bookshop I ran alongside my octogenarian housemate and employer, Mr. Owen, back home in Exeter. Life as an antiquarian turned Lady Sleuth detective had clearly taken its toll on my body. Though by all appearances, time spent in scholarly pursuits hadn't taken a toll on Leona at all. She looked much the same as she had during the war, with large brown eyes set into a heart-shaped face and the sort of effortless beauty that would have launched 1,000 ships in another lifetime. She was lithe and strong, possibly stronger than she'd been back then. Who knew that sorting through antiquities and translating ancient scrolls would do such wonders for a girl's health? She nudged me again with the saber, drawing my attention back to her. Besides, you're here for 2 more weeks. I'll wait at least until the new year to finish you off. Wonderful. I shall eagerly await my demise. I adjusted my grip on my own blade, lightly bouncing the hilt in my palm, gaze drifting to the gray world outside the windows. Bundled-up shoppers passed the faintly fogged window as the first fat snowflakes began to fall from the afternoon sky. My afternoons with Leona at the Artemis Club had become a respite from my worries of the last few months.